Thank you for listening once again. This piece is called Miss Too Good to Be True. And this is dedicated to all of those out there who I have interacted with, come across, whether it was a short-term or a long-term connection or relationship, and we're no longer together for whatever the reason. These are just my thoughts and where I am, so please don't take offense. Here we go. He said something to me that made me really think. So, do you think you're perfect or something? My initial response was no. But now that I've had time to think, I truly believe it so. Let me explain myself before you falsely judge my words. Because all my life, nobody's perfect is all I ever heard. Yet, most often I discover different of myself when it came to men. It seemed to them I was the perfect one who was made just for him. I didn't try to be someone that I know I'm not. I just always be who I am. And I guess that made me hot. I am kind and loving and peaceful, not drama-filled. I'm calm. My presence brings serenity to the deadliest of storms. My voice is soft and I'm told is soothing. My touch, it calms his nerves. My understanding of human nature is unmatched from what I've heard. My space is kept up. I keep my bathroom clean. I don't get attitudes and I'm never mean. I listen attentively to your every word. And happy outcomes are what I'm preferred. My food is nourishing and tasty. In fact, when he eats it, he dances. He knows he's got a lot of issues and prays I give him many chances. He knows he's damaged from past loves he opened his heart to. He hardened it and treated everyone else badly, but with me, he could not do. Instead, he pushed me away by starting an unprovoked fight. That was his defense mechanism because something didn't seem right. I was too good to be true. With me, he saw another side of himself he'd never seen. A side that made him want to change so that I could be his queen. Problem was, he didn't know the difference till it was too late. His bitter self from the other loves caused him to seal our relationship's fate. Not one, not two, but 3 or 4 had me in their hands and let me slip through the door. Because I was unlike the others in his life he'd previously been with before. I was different. I was so real. I caused him to feel things he never thought he'd feel. The things I said made him think and rethink his life and plans. After meeting me, all he could think was how he could be a better man. After spending time with me, he saw me to be true and loyal to a fault. And though my harsh words got on his nerves, I challenged him to be an adult, not a grown kid, which is what he did most of the time. He'd act, from throwing a tantrum when not getting his way, and y'all know that I'm speaking facts, to raising his voice in hopes that I would concede and just fall back. Let him get away with his shenanigans because most others let him do it. The lies he told with me grew old, although most often he'd stick to it. I mirrored his actions and he didn't like it because I forced him to smell his own shit. He fought, kicked and screamed, saying the meanest of things, but in the end he had to accept the truth. He wasn't acting like a king. Before he met me, no one had ever told him about his nasty ways and actions. He thought he was slick with his words and shit, but I never gave him that satisfaction. of thinking he could get over on me, trying to charm me with his words. The problem was I was not the one, because there was nothing I've not yet heard. And yet and still, I stuck around and challenged him to be great. Because if I am the one you really want, you'll have to prove that to me, mate. I'm only here to make you better, to him I would often say. And instead of working towards being great, he'd go back to his old ways. Although it never resulted in positive things, only immediate gratification, that would eventually die out and be gone, putting him right back into rotation. That hamster wheel life he's grown accustomed to, because that life is easier, not much hard work to do. And that turned me off because I need to see growth. And if you're not willing to grow, then baby, I gotta go. If being supported and treated with respect is not for you, I understand. But don't go and say you never had that, my man. Because I offered you both. You had me in the palm of your hands. I never treated you badly, called you out your name. I never put my hands on you or made you feel ashamed. I never belittled you or made you feel less than a man. Never disrespected you or your family. Always told you, yes, you can. I was there in the worst of times, slumming it with you because I cared. It didn't matter where we laid our heads as long as you were there. I never treated you unfairly nor looked down on you in your lowest times. Instead, I encouraged you and sat with you listening to your spoken rhymes. Yes, your loving was good and your heart for me was pure. But you couldn't seem to grasp the fact that our status was secure. All you had to do was let it be and do what was best for you and me. Instead, you kept searching to see how many others you could find like me. Instead of being happy with whom you had in your face, you looked for others to take my place. Because being with me would mean you would have to change. And I guess you wanted to stay the same. So to your vices, I left you because I deserved better than being treated like my feelings didn't matter. He asked me once, do I think I'm perfect? Hell yes, I'm perfectly made. And I know what my worth is. Just because you were not ready and you felt uneasy, don't mean there's anything wrong with me, see? I showed you love unconditionally. You had no reference point to know that when you have a woman like me in the palm of your hands, it's your loss if you let me go. Now, I'm not tooting my own horn per se, but I am perfect in every way. Imperfections, flaws, and all. In the eyes of my Creator who made me, goddess of love and beauty, all year long, winter, spring, summer, and fall. I am who you wanted until you realized how much work it would take to win my heart, mind, and soul. No matter the reason, it was you who made the decision. Remember this, to be left out in the cold. Thank you so much for listening. Fatima Aliara.